Have you ever had a thought so weird or upsetting you immediately wondered, wait, what's wrong with me? Have your thoughts left you feeling scared, ashamed, or confused about what is actually going on in your mind? If you answer yes to either of those, you have found the right podcast. In this episode, we explore intrusive thoughts, why they happen, and how to stop letting them define you. Welcome to We Are All Fine, a podcast designed for young people to come and hear that yes, life is complicated and hard, and yes, we are all fine, flawed, insecure, nervous, and emotional, but yes, we can make sense of this together. I'm Heidi, I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist, and welcome to episode 21. I've spent 25 years working with young people and young adults, and every conversation I have involves thoughts, negative, positive, and intrusive. And I've learned through my counselling career just how common intrusive thoughts can be. Millions of people just like you, just like I, have them. Good people have awful thoughts. Violent thoughts come from gentle people. And crazy thoughts occur for people who are not in the least bit crazy. You are not the only one who has repeated thoughts that seem to stay stuck and won't leave your mind. There is nothing wrong with you, just the way you are dealing with your thoughts. Sometimes your intrusive thoughts are associated with a mental health disorder, such as OCD, where thoughts become so bothersome that they prompt repetitive behaviours or compulsions to try to prevent them from occurring. Now, they're also common in PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder, which can be triggered by a life-threatening or extremely stressful event, maybe an accident or a violent attack. Now, that might be you, but many people who experience these thoughts don't have a mental health disorder. And just a note, if it's OCD or PTSD and this is life-limiting, it's probably a good idea to seek professional help. We'll talk a bit more about that at the end of the podcast. What are intrusive thoughts? My definition is this. They are uninvited thoughts that jump into your head and are not part of your ongoing flow of thinking. They are uncomfortable, confusing, and sometimes distressing. Intrusive thoughts are often triggered by stress or anxiety. Any life stressor, if big enough, can increase your risk of having intrusive thoughts. Now, girls, those amongst you, hormonal shifts can rock the thought boat as well. So keep an eye on that if you notice they increase or are more bothersome at certain times of the month. Also, if you've been struggling with sleep and not getting enough, there's a link between intrusive thoughts and inadequate sleep. Your brain needs to reset and rest. So if that's not happening for you, it will be tired and wired. While intrusive thoughts may be disturbing, they aren't harmful or mean that you have a secret desire to do the things that popped into your mind. Psychologists have identified that 9 out of 10 people do experience intrusive thoughts at least once a day. So what is going wrong in your situation is that you've taken the thoughts too seriously and you have believed the content of your thinking. So keep listening and I will share techniques to let you manage these. So how can you tell if you're experiencing intrusive thoughts? Now, there are some signs that you need to be looking out for. First thing, the thought is unusual for you. An intrusive thought is usually very, very different from your typical thoughts. For example, it might be uncharacteristically violent. The second thing, the thought is bothersome. So if that thought is disturbing and it's something you want to push out of your mind, it might be an intrusive thought if it keeps coming back over and over again. And the third thing to be looking out for, mindful of, the thought will feel hard to control. Intrusive thoughts are often repetitive and they won't go away. It's going to be a good idea for me to tell you now that thoughts do get stuck. Thoughts are sticky, and here's why. Your mind is wired for survival, not for peace. So when a thought feels threatening, even if it isn't, your brain will hold onto it just in case it's important. And even though these are just thoughts, your brain treats them like potential danger. And that means they get flagged, repeated, and mentally reviewed over and over again. Your brain is trying to help you. When the intrusive thoughts download into your mind, you're scared of what that thought might mean. What if it means something about me? Will be your reaction. But thoughts are not facts. Listen, they're just mental events. And the more you try to suppress that thought, guess what? The stronger it becomes. This is called the ironic process theory. Now, if I say to you now, don't think about pink elephants, when I tell you this, guess what you're thinking right now? Pink elephants. Now, trying to push a thought away is like trying to tell your brain it's important, so it keeps popping back up. And thoughts get stuck when we try and argue with them, analyze them, or logic our way out of them. We all do it. So instead of, that was a weird thought, we say, gosh, why did I think that? What does that mean? Am I okay? And that problem-solving loop makes the thought feel stickier and much more urgent. Before we talk about how you can manage them, because you can, let's go to the counsellor's question. Now, I've permission this week to share their name, so thank you to Luke, who's 19, and he has sent in this question. How do I know if I haven't processed past trauma? This is such an important and often quite haunting question, Luke, and many people walk around with unprocessed trauma without even knowing it. And trauma doesn't always scream sometimes. It can linger in patterns, emotions, and it gets stayed stuck in our nervous system. Here are 6 signs that you may not have processed the past trauma. Number 1, you're going to be easily triggered by certain people, places, or topics. Number 2, you're going to avoid thinking about certain memories or periods of your life. Now, these are parts of your past that you refuse to revisit emotionally or mentally. You won't go there, you'll think it's fine and you've moved on, but that emotional shutdown can be a sign that that wound hasn't healed, you've just buried it, which means it's not been processed. Number 3, you're always going to feel like you're on edge or you shut down quite easily. Unprocessed trauma can make your nervous system get stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. So you might feel jumpy, irritable, definitely anxious, or completely numb, exhausted, or emotionally disconnected from others or from your thoughts. You can think something but not feel it. That might be a sign you've disconnected from the trauma. A 4th thing that could be happening, you might be struggling to talk about your feelings, especially those vulnerable ones. So if these deep emotions like sadness, shame, fear, or grief feel unsafe, overwhelming, or too much, that might be your system protecting you from unprocessed pain. The 5th thing, you keep repeating the same patterns. I see this with my clients, whether in relationships, you'll be self-sabotaging or you just will struggle to cope. Your unprocessed trauma can show up in cycles. You might be choosing emotionally unavailable partners or friends. You'll be overworking to avoid the feeling and you'll push people away before they can leave you. Think what patterns you might have created to avoid the trauma. And lastly, the 6th sign, you don't feel fully connected to who you are. Now, this could look like imposter syndrome, you will have chronic self-doubt, and you'll feel emotionally stuck or hollow, like you're watching life happen to you, not with you. That sense of disconnection from yourself can be a protective response to past pain. Luke, thank you for the question, and let me know if that helped you. Email me. And everyone else, you can please email me too. Email your questions to me, HeidiWeAreAllFine@gmail.com. That's HeidiWeAreAllFine@gmail.com, and I will answer as many as I can on the podcast. So back to those intrusive thoughts. We know what they are and why we get them and why they get stuck. So let me tell you ways now you can manage the intrusive thoughts. Now remember, the thought isn't the problem, it's what your mind does with it that causes the distress. So we're going to be starting paying attention to the thoughts, but from a very different approach. First thing you need to do, the most important thing you need to do, is identify the thought as intrusive. Think to yourself, literally, that's just an intrusive thought. It's not how I think, it's not what I believe, and it's not what I want to do. I wanted to drive off a bridge. Of course I was never going to do it. It was an intrusive thought. Second thing, do not fight it. When you have an intrusive thought, accept it. Don't try to make it go away. And the third thing, do not judge yourself. Know that having a strange or disturbing thought doesn't indicate there is something wrong with you. By approaching the thoughts this way, you create mental distance between you and the thought, which then immediately rips the power away and puts you back in control of your thoughts. You become aware of them and you are not allowing them in. Identify it, don't fight it, don't judge it. You really will need to repeat this. So I'll say it again. Identify the thought. Yes, that's an intrusive thought. Do not fight it. Accept it's there. Do not give it that time or that headspace. It will blow away and it will go through. And do not judge yourself. Now, I did say this at the start of the show today. If these thoughts are limiting your life and you've been going on with them in your mind for a long time and nothing seems to help, it's going to be time to reach out for some professional help now. Counselling will help you. So reach out, find a counsellor, ask them if they can help you with these intrusive thoughts, probably CBT or maybe some exposure work. So find yourself a therapist and ask for an introductory chat and tell them what you're experiencing. And finally, just before we close down the show, here is my therapy thought for you. Thoughts that repeat are stuck, not important. I've really loved presenting this podcast today. So if you've loved it too and you've found it helpful, please share and review the show. I am a new podcaster, so your support and feedback will mean a lot to me. Thank you. If you want to reach out for me with ideas for future shows, I'm listening. I'm at the other end of an email. HeidiWeAreAllFine@gmail.com. Episode 22 is for you if you've been struggling to be around people, either friends, partners, or family, who are emotionally unavailable to you. If it's happening to you, it often feels like you're reaching out with both hands and no one's reaching back. You're there, you're present, you're feeling, you're trying, but they're behind a wall you can't climb. We will talk that through in next week's episode. So if you've any stories you want to share, I can include those in the podcast. So please do get in touch. You've learned today to accept your unwanted thoughts, and that by acknowledging them, you can diminish their power and put your time and energy into thinking about the things in your life that really matter. We are all flawed, insecure, nervous and emotional, but always remember, be yourself. You are no one else. Until next time, you take care. Finally, some important takeaways. The podcast is for informational use only and should not be used as a substitution for professional advice or for personal diagnosis. These opinions are personal and I do not guarantee the accuracy of such opinions or information. I'm not intending to create a counselling relationship with you, and you should always consult a qualified mental health professional with any concerns.